For buttonholes, this machine has an automatic one-step buttonhole. First, reach for your buttonhole foot, and you'll notice the bar is in the front, and this extends out the back side. First, hold the front, and then push this lever away from you. That's going to open up this area behind the foot. Then put your button in and close it up. So the machine is going to do a buttonhole this exact length. So you don't have to measure or mark your fabric. Just mark where you want it to start. So I'm going to go ahead and put the buttonhole foot on. If you have a little trouble getting it underneath, you can always lift that little foot a little higher and then go ahead and click it on. Now, before you stitch, while we're down here, behind your needle threader is another lever. Pull that straight down and push it. It says push, so push it. All right, for settings, buttonholes will look better with a little bit less tension on the top, so those threads will pull to the back side. So I've turned it down to 3. Set your stitch width to 5, and then your settings for the stitch length are going to be in the buttonhole range between 0 and 1. Honestly, you're going to be closer to 0, so a halfway point, maybe a little on the 0 side. That's the easiest way. You want to make sure that you have proper stabilizer under your fabric, and remember the buttonhole is going to start here and stitch away from you. So your first one, make sure you don't start here because it's going to go up. So if you're unsure, do your first buttonhole in the middle of your fabric. What I'm going to do is go ahead and just stitch the first one, kind of right about here. Now when you put the buttonhole foot on, there's no place for this extra little thread from your needle. Once you've sewed one, it will get dragged below. So the first one, I always kind of just hold on to this thread. I can take a few stitches and then trim it if I don't want to keep holding on to it. Maybe make that stitch length just a little closer together. So what it's going to do is it's going to go all the way. Oh, I do have to pick. Sorry, back up. You do have to actually touch the buttonhole setting. It's doing my multiple point zigzag. And select your stitch number 1. We're going to reset that over here on this side. Push again, so that actually is re-engaged. Now it's all set. So the part that you've pushed is going to tap the back of the foot, and that's what will tell the machine to turn around, do the tack at the top, and be all set there. All right, I think because I started, and then we can tap. There we go. Now we have the little bar tack at the end here. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. So once we have one buttonhole done, to do the next one, just go ahead and push your lever again. That will reset it. So you're going to go ahead and stitch back. It'll turn it around at the end. Come forward. Now when it gets back down to where you start, that's when I pushed it again, and then it did the tack at the bottom, and then kind of a few stitches up the other side. So just in case that wasn't clear the first time, that looks a lot better. How fun is that? So buttonholes can be used in so many places, from home dec to places with drawstrings, curtain holders up on the, like in a bathroom shower curtain, you could put buttonholes up there. Now there's one other way you can do a buttonhole, and that's a corded buttonhole. So on the foot, there's a little nub back here. So I'm going to take some cord and I'm going to divide it in half, and I'm going to come underneath my foot. I almost need 3 hands here, so if this is not easy the first time you do it, go ahead and lay it where it's 2 cords coming underneath the foot, and then there's a little kind of finger right here in the front. I have kind of a little slippery cord, so I'm going to kind of hold this all at once, lower that down. Once those first couple stitches get started, there we go, I can kind of let go of it. What it's doing is it's satin stitching over this cord for a corded buttonhole. That's going to give a nice raised look, and it's great for stretchy fabrics too, or if you're doing something like in a coat. There we go, a little tack and locking stitches. We'll finish it off. Let me show you how this is going to look. When it was hooked on the back side here, this was our little loop on the back. Then you're going to take one of the cords at the end and pull. There we go. And it will slip into the top part. And then I'm going to just take and trim these really close to my stitching, like that. We can trim this thread off because that's nice and secure. And of course this is too. So we can go ahead and trim, and then we have a perfect buttonhole. And look, it almost looks more filled in than the other 2 that we did. So it's a great way to have a more substantial buttonhole.